So I decided that I'm going to ask Yogi Bhajan for some information, for some clarification. There is a teacher that I follow. Her name is Gigi Young, and she in a great YouTube channel. You should all check it out. But she always encourages people to channel your guides and ask them questions. So I decided that I'm going to ask Yogi Bhajan for some information, for some clarification. I was like, hey, Yogi Bhajan, I want you to be my teacher. So please help me, please give me some information about this yoga that you just dropped on us, right? And he did. He delivered. One day, as I was sitting after my meditation, this idea about the flow of subtle energy came to me. And I don't know, you might call it intuition, It wasn't like, oh, Yogi Bhajan's voice came to me and stuff. Oh, it was really, my inner voice telling me these things. But I don't think the idea would just come in to me out of the blue. It was pretty profound. And this is what I want to share with you. And it has to do with Ida, Pingala, the chakras, breath, and things like that. And then at the end, I'm going to share with you a meditation that helps harmonize this whole energy flow. You know the Kasorya symbol, which is the two snakes that go like this, and then at the top there are wings, two wings, right? Which is a sign of medicine. And it's a good reason for it to be a sign of medicine because it really represents the harmony of energy flow. And when that energy flow in a body is harmonized, that's when we are healthy. No disease can ever touch us. What it actually represents, three main energy channels in a body. One is Ida, one is Pingala, and the third one is Shushmuna, right? And they go like this. They're hot and cold, and they go like that. And wherever they meet, that's one chakra. And chakra, in its original meaning, the word chakra means wheel. It's like a windmill, actually. And that energy pushes the windmill and makes it spin. So, and imagine that your breath is actually powering these energetic winds inside your body. And when there is no blockage in the spine, energetic or physical, these currents, these little winds can power then the windmill of chakra. And chakra starts shining bright. It starts working. It's unblocked. And you feel. All of a sudden you realize, oh my God, I feel like I'm alive. Where was I before? What was I doing? So imagine that you are, sitting like this and breathing. What's happening with that wind, that energy? It's kind of crushed. It's not flowing freely, right? What happens when you create a straight line, like we have those straight lines in Manhattan, where you in winter when you stand and the wind starts blowing, you're like, oh my God, like I'm going to die. that force of energy, when you actually have something that is straight and open, it's just almost overwhelming. And the same it is in your body. The reason why exercise. The reason why we put ourselves in sometimes funny positions, it's to allow for this energy to flow with force into certain chakra. We say we opening up the chakra, we are opening up the pathway to that chakra. Sometimes it feels like you are squeezing yourself in some position, but you're actually just opening up the pathway, constricting the energy flowing into other centers and making all the force go into that one place. Like, for example, when I pull the mul band, it's as if I initiated the highway that goes from the top of my head all the way down to my sitting bone. All of a sudden, I'm creating a straight spine, and instead of energy flowing everywhere into my shoulders, into blah blah blah, wherever it wants to go, now I'm creating a straight line and it's going straight through the chakras. And that's why we do yoga, okay? Because we want to move that energy into those centers. And we use breath of fire for that, or we use long deep breathing. If you think of energy as the wind, and your body or the asanas as, let's say, the structures that hold that energy in one place, you will understand yoga. Let me just say a little bit more about the chakras, right? Because there are a lot of misconceptions about them, or I don't even know if there are misconceptions, but kind of vague ideas. And they're not vague. The chakras are not vague. They're very real, and we work with them every day. One of the easiest ways to think about chakras is that they are basically your emotions that are stored in your body. Lots of times the emotions are kind of downgraded as if they are something animalistic, but it's not true. Emotions are some of the most developed human abilities. And as you go higher on these chakras, right, the more complex these emotions get. And when these chakras are working and turning and spinning, and they have the proper energy flowing in them, that energy centers is healthy. There is no stagnation, or there is no blockage. But a lot of times, because we don't allow ourselves to feel a certain way, that energy center is closed or not spinning enough, not receiving enough energy. There are certain people who their whole life live on 2 chakras only and never get beyond 2 chakras or 3 chakras. Never. And that's, I would say, even majority of the people. The more chakras are open, unblocked, and alive, and circling and living, the more access to life you have, more access to feeling you have, more access to higher dimensions you have. When there are great actors, right, and they're portraying certain characters, or there are characters in the literature, the more dimensional characters, the more chakras they come from. So they are not just caring about their own survival or about their own needs, satisfying themselves, but they are also at the same time able to feel compassion, love. They're also able to have an understanding. They're also able at the same time have a vision of greater good, and for that reason do something that can seem not right or mean, but because of that higher vision they're able to do that, and they do it with their open heart. It's a wonderful way to clear the chakras, to get rid of bad habits, to start anew. We use simple mantra Sat Nam, but the Sat is prolongated, and especially the A is prolongated into an 7 waves. So it sounds like that. Sat Nam. Okay? So on the 7 waves that we said in that corresponds to the 7 chakras that we talked about. And the 8th Nam, it will surround us with the aura. To tie it back with what I was saying before, it all depends on the breath and how that moves the energy in your body. When we use mantra, we use the breath to move the energy. Because without breath, we would have no sound, right? So it's not about the words at all in this case. It is really about the way we do it and the way then the breath moves in our body. So let's try it. You close your eyes, focus them at the 3rd eye point. Let's inhale. Sa Nam. 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 Sa. Nam. Sa. Nam. Sa. Nam. Sa. Nam. And let's inhale. Hold the breath. See your whole spine as shining bright light. And exhale.